My name is Santa Ono, and I am the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us in singing O Canada, led by our University Marshal Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal thanks, for the manifold blessings we have shared in this wonderful world, this great nation of Canada, this beautiful and blessed province of British Columbia, this magnificent university. And we respectfully acknowledge the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples, in whose territory we stand and are gathered upon today. We give thanks to these proud students, their families and friends on this most joyous occasion. Please be seated. Distinguished platform guests, members of the Okanagan Senate, faculty, staff, alumni, and most especially graduates, family, and friends. Bienvenue à la cérémonie de remise des diplômes de l'Université de la Colombie-Britannique. J'espère que le temps que vous avez passé ici a été mémorable. Nous sommes très fiers de tout ce que vous avez accompli. Vous allez nous manquer. What an honor it is for me to be with you today to celebrate UBC's graduating class of 2017. Let's hear it for them. I can tell you that this is one of the best parts of my job, to participate in this joyful, momentous occasion, a milestone in your lives. This day is all about you and what you've achieved through hard work, dedication, determination, and moments of creative inspiration. Graduation is a time to imagine anew your future and the world to come. When you think of the road ahead, you may gain perspective, we hope, by looking back at your time here at UBC. And we hope that when you do look back at your time here, that you will do so with fondness, and that when you look ahead, you will see UBC very much as a part of your future. You will also be welcome here always, and we look forward to hearing from you about your personal and professional achievements as you build on the foundation that you have built through your education here at UBC. And we also hope to continue to engage with you as alumni as you travel forward to new adventures, to new corners of the globe. One of the privileges that I have as President and Vice Chancellor of UBC is to travel all over the world to meet with our over 325,000 alumni that are all over the world, engaged in every field of human endeavor, in many cases in leadership positions. As you begin a new stage in your life and experience, you can be confident of one thing, and that is that we have absolute confidence that you can and that you will make much of your education, and that you will take that knowledge and that skill with the will that you have demonstrated here to make the world a better place. In his address to UBC's initial graduating class in 1916, UBC's first president, Frank Westbrook, encouraged students then to make the world a better place in which to live. And he didn't do so in reference to making your home and your neighborhood better for your family and friends. No, his request and mandate and challenge to those graduating students was much different. It was to make the world a better place to live for people far away, for people less privileged, for people perhaps that they would never meet. But through their skill and knowledge, through various professions, to try to make a positive impact that would live on long past their time on the planet. And there's one more thing that we wanted to say to you, and that is, graduation is not about goodbye. Graduation is about au revoir, until we meet again. I mean, that's absolutely true. There are, I'm sure, grandparents and parents out there who also went to UBC. And in fact, over this graduation season, I've met families where 5 generations of people have attended UBC. And they tell me that they keep coming back, keep learning about what's happening at UBC, and keep engaged. And we hope that you will do so as well. As Professor Westbrook said in 1916, remember those words that only UBC graduates embrace, "Tuum est." And it has a double entendre. One of them is, it's your university. And we want you to remember that. Tuum est, that UBC will always be your university. But tuum est also means that it's up to you. And later on, in further remarks at today's ceremony, I hope that you will really grasp the second meaning of tuum est. It's up to you. But for the meantime, congratulations, class of 2017, my very best wishes to you. And let's give the Deputy Vice Chancellor and Principal of UBC Okanagan a great round of applause.
Thank you, President Ono. And before I begin my formal remarks, I would just like to recognize Councillor Ryan Dunn, who is the Deputy Mayor of Kelowna. He's joining us. He's at his 3rd ceremony today. We are wonderfully blessed to be here in the city of Kelowna, and thank you, Ryan, for being here. So, to the graduating class of 2017, congratulations. Your graduation today represents a tremendous achievement, signaling years of hard work, persistence, and your ability to take and embrace enormous amounts of new information and ideas. These aptitudes are the ones that you take with you, in addition to your engineering degree, as you cross the stage today. But a UBC degree doesn't just demonstrate your tenacity or qualify you for a great job. I'm sure it will do that. More importantly, it prepares you to live a thoughtful life, one of perception, insight, and rationality, and yes, indeed, the ability to tell the difference between news and fake news. It provides you the intellectual tools that you need to flourish wherever you may go from here. As I look out at this year's class, I'm struck by your collective power to be a force for positive change. Over the relatively short time that you've been on this campus, You've proven yourself to be significant builders and change agents, both here on the campus and in the wider community. I'll give you a few examples. From the UBCO Muslim Students Association, filling sandbags during the recent flooding emergency to help protect the city of Kelowna, to our students leaving the residence this summer who worked with the Salvation Army to collect more than 5,000 pounds of household goods that could be reused by others in our community here. There are countless examples of this class stepping up to make a difference, large or small, on and off campus. But there are two things that have really struck me about your cohort of students. The first is being your support of refugees. Last year, UBC Okanagan students voted overwhelmingly in favor of a levy that you would all pay in order to provide a fund to enable us to bring students growing up in refugee camps around the world to study here at UBC Okanagan. Seeing the crises in places like Syria, Sudan, and Nigeria, and the incredible opportunity that UBC can offer for education, you can imagine the impact that your generosity will have on enabling young people growing up in refugee camps to come here and continue their education the way you have done. I had the opportunity to read the scholarship applications this first year of that program. They were extraordinary stories of human resilience in the most terrible and tragic conditions. I'm very excited that we'll be welcoming our first students next year, and I want to say that that is thanks to your generosity. You've really made a difference. Think about the difference that that will make to not just that individual, but to their family going forward for generations, that they will be taken out of an impossible situation and given the opportunity to come here and to get their education at UBC. The second thing, which has really stood out for me, has been the contribution that you have made towards the new Teaching and Learning Centre. You know better than anybody how difficult it has been to find quiet study space on this campus during your time at UBC. Sometimes there were lineups queuing for a seat in the library. 3 years ago, again, you, the students of UBC Okanagan, committed through a referendum to contribute a levy. You've been paying it for 3 years now. You see it. It's a small extra charge on your fees. That will grow to be a $10 million contribution to that new building that you now see taking place on the other side of the campus behind the existing library. And you made that happen. And you contributed generously, knowing that none of you would benefit from those additional study spaces. You contributed forward so that future generations of students on this campus will have something that you didn't. And from the bottom of my heart, and for those students who come after you, I thank you for that extraordinary contribution. You're helping us build an even better campus. So thank you all for that. Thank you. Echoing the words of the President, graduation does not mean saying goodbye. We hope that you'll continue to be actively involved in the life of the campus. Next year, we have another first at UBC Okanagan, and that is we will host our first ever homecoming for alumni. So you're going to be the first UBCO alumni to ever have that opportunity to come back for that. It's a chance for you to be part of continuing to build the campus, and I promise you you'll enjoy a tour of the new library facilities. As you leave here, your life will change. By plan, by surprise, sometimes by accident. You can be confident in your capacity to not only cope with change, but to be a force for positive change wherever you may go in a world that is changing all the time. Coping and indeed thriving in a world that is ever-changing is precisely what your years at UBC have prepared you for. And I have every confidence your education and experience here have positioned you for a very bright future. Truly great universities are defined and known for the impact and the work of their graduates. As I look out at our newest UBC Okanagan alumni, I know that we will have much to be proud of as you make your way in the world. Indeed, we are already incredibly proud of what you have contributed here and what you have built on this campus. So on behalf of the entire University of British Columbia and our Okanagan campus, congratulations. I wish you every success. Well done, class of 2017. And now I'm pleased to call on Blago Ristovsky as a member of the graduating class to make remarks on behalf of the class.
Good afternoon. Welcome, President, honored guests, faculty members, fellow graduates, family, and friends. My name is Blago Ristovsky, and I'm honored to be here today to speak to you on behalf of the Faculty of Applied Sciences graduating class of 2017. I will do my best this afternoon to represent the caliber of students graduating from bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs. We arrived at today's celebrations from different paths comprised of unique experiences, challenges, and opportunities. Today is a day of reflection before we take off on our new journeys tomorrow. My fellow graduates, we're lucky to have received our education from UBC Okanagan. This may be a small campus, but there is no shortage of big opportunity. In fact, I'm going to tell you about 3 of those opportunities today. One major opportunity we took full advantage of was the community that we became a part of, something that I believe sets our campus apart from any other engineering school in Canada. During my first lecture at UBC School of Engineering, my professor said to us, look to your left, look to your right, and get to know those people. Get to know those people because those people are going to be your new best friends, and you will graduate with them. If we look around us today, I'd say that professor was right. And I realize now that his comments set the stage for our entire degrees by instilling us with camaraderie, collaboration, and teamwork. We're here today because we work together as a unit and a team through every assignment, challenge, and prospect. In addition, we were incredibly lucky to get to know our professors and have them take an interest in our pursuit to becoming professional engineers. Our professors motivated us to extend intellectually, to perform our best every hour of every day. They were committed to our education as much as their profession, which was displayed by their generosity in hosting weekend tutorials, extended office hours, and even feeding us during last-minute exam jams. On behalf of the graduating class of 2017, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to the dedicated professors and faculty who led our engineering education. In addition, we most definitely would not have made it this far, let alone to UBCO, if it were not for the support of our friends, families, spouses, children, colleagues, and music teachers. Thank you for being a part of our journey, for supporting us when we needed it most, and for being here today to celebrate our hard work. Another key opportunity we had while studying at UBC Okanagan was the ability to pursue our passions. Some of my colleagues know that I'm just crazy about aerospace. And that's just one of the many passions that we shared. Many of you participated in the clubs, associations, and teams on campus, or perhaps you even started one. Participating in these groups connected us to others with similar passions, strengthening our community. These connections led to countless hours put into projects that we were passionate about alongside the heavy course load. If there's one thing we learned at UBC Okanagan, it was perseverance. We persevered through the many good times and the challenging times to find solutions and accomplish great things during our time. Without question, we are different people than when we arrived at UBC Okanagan. We've developed new skills and new traits, and we graduate today with determination, patience, professionalism, and accountability. These traits, along with our accomplishments from following our passions, will define each of us as we move forward into our engineering careers. Now that we've looked back on our journey, it is time to look to the future. Our relationship with UBC does not stop here. We have another opportunity presented to us today to use what we have learned to enhance society, to give back to our communities, and to ensure that UBC continues to educate future generations with the same enriched opportunities that we had. On behalf of Alumni UBC, I'm honored to welcome the graduating class of 2017 to the alumni family. You now belong to a community of changemakers and leaders that is more than 325,000 strong. Graduates like you who are looking to make a positive difference in the world. You can visit the alumni tent after the ceremony to see what it means to be a new member of the alumni family. To close, the last thing I learned here at UBCO was from our Associate Dean, Dr. Rayhan Sadiq. He taught me something very important when giving a speech. Tell a joke. So, here goes. 3 engineers were debating who designed the human body. The first said it must have been a mechanical engineer. Look at all the joints. The second said, no, it must have been an electrical engineer. The human nervous system has thousands of electrical connections. The third said, no, it must have been a civil engineer. Who else would design a toxic waste pipeline right through a recreational area? To my fellow graduates, I wish you all the best of health and prosperity in your future endeavors as professional engineers. Congratulations.
Well, I get to thank LEGO for that speech. Thank you very much. And now I'll pass the podium back to the President.
The President's Service Award for Excellence is one of the highest honors a UBC staff member can receive. This award recognizes excellence in personal achievements and outstanding contributions to the University of British Columbia. At this ceremony, we would like to present this award to Michael Gessie, and I would ask him to please come forward. Through more than 28 years of service at UBC's campuses in both Vancouver and the Okanagan, Michael Gessie has been instrumental in fostering a welcoming, safe, and secure environment for students, faculty, and staff. As a senior supervisor and the longest-serving member of the Okanagan campus security team, Mike's actions and commitment are at the heart of the culture, success, and effectiveness of the security team. He has made making UBC safer the focus of his working life, serving UBC with an unwavering focus on people and their support and their well-being. Recently, parents of a student in distress were effusive in their praise for Mike, who went above and beyond to help their daughter. They wrote that, quote, "We have had nothing but wonderful experiences with UBCO thus far. We feel reassured and confident that our daughter is safe, and when there are situations that arise, she's able to get help from caring and supportive people." Mike is known across campus, and for many people is the first point of contact for all matters security, whether he is attending a first aid call, managing security staff and contract guards, or serving our community as a longtime RCMP auxiliary member and firefighter. Mike continues to inspire others at UBC and beyond through his selfless commitment, experience, leadership, heroism, and compassion. It is our pleasure to present you, Mike, with the President's Service Award for Excellence.
You may notice we have a bit of a double act going on here. Mike really is the heart of the campus. Thank you, Mike, for all your work. Now, the real business of the day. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise? That's you. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of the University recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by the representative of the faculty. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies will congratulate the student. Scott Fazakerly and Raja Waryak, members of the alumni community, will welcome each student to the Alumni Association and present them with an alumni handbook. Will the candidates please be seated?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Heshmatullah Adib Natanzi. Dr. Adib Natanzi contributed to the present knowledge of seismic isolation technology by proposing, developing, and successfully testing the performance and efficiency of innovative low-cost seismic isolators. His research helps efficiently protect buildings and human lives from destructive earthquakes and will improve seismic protection worldwide. Dr. Adib Natanzi. Muhammad Shahidul Islam. Dr. Islam developed several novel and effective retrofitting techniques to strengthen deficient wood eye joints with flanks or web cuts. His study went beyond the building code recommendation, as this research would allow practitioners and contractors to retrofit deficient eye joints instead of replacing them. Dr. Islam. Bardia Tabiyat Nejad. Dr. Tabiyat Nejad examined the behavior of the engineered barriers in nuclear waste disposal facilities. He showed that the chemistry of local groundwater has a major influence on the behavior of the clay layers used around the waste containers. The findings from his work prevent the disastrous pollution of groundwater for the nucleates. Dr. Tabiyat Nejad. Christopher Collier. Dr. Collier investigated microfluidic and terahertz technologies. He made recommendations for the design of an integrated spectroscopy system that has biomedical application. Dr. Collier. Xian Jin. Dr. Jin investigated optical wireless communication systems. The systems are similar to Wi-Fi in that they communicate through air, but they differ from Wi-Fi in that information is transmitted via light. Such systems are being introduced to the world as Li-Fi technology. Dr. Jin's work solves some of the key challenges for these future Li-Fi systems. Dr. Jin. Ying Yi. Dr. Yi studied the implantable drug delivery system. He developed a method of combining cyclical actuation with solid drug storage that extends the lifetime of the system. His work contributes to remote operation and dose release management and addresses implant-related biological issues. Dr. Yi's research will benefit future drug therapies and healthcare applications. Dr. Yi. Mehdi Jahandar Doust. Dr. Jahandar Doust developed the first ever bileafet mechanical heart valve with an elliptic housing. His innovation led to improved hemodynamics of the St. Jude medical valve. Dr. Jahandar Doust's research may have an immense impact on patients with implanted mechanical heart valves. Dr. Jahandar Doust. Behzad Mohajer. Dr. Mohajer studied the use of liquid jets for cooling high heat flux applications. This cooling technique can be employed in a variety of industry, from cooling steel strips during the hot rolling process in the metal industry to cooling high power electronic devices in electronic industry. Dr. Mohajer. Muhammad Yafia Okba Islam. Dr. Islam enhanced digital microfluidic system by developing improved and novel actuation mechanisms, introducing cost-effective rapid prototyping techniques, and performing full system integration for a portable handheld device. Dr. Salem. I'm sorry. Ehsan Sami. Dr. Sami developed multiple techniques to enhance sample preparation and biosensing on digital microfluid-based lab-on-a-chip devices. His research facilitates the development of portable devices for biomedical and point-of-care applications. Dr. Sami. Matthew McMaster Smith. Dr. Smith developed a new repair technology for jet engine components. By collaborating with industry and government partners, he helped in the analysis of friction welded superalloy components and provided essential knowledge necessary for further development and optimization of the welding process. Dr. Smith. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Applied Science. MD Salama Mehir. Josephine Morgendrath. MD Nubino Rahman. Asif Al-Nur. Mark Henry Bergen. Yu Chao. Yang Ji Dong. Neil Liju. David Williams. Gangshan Yi. Changli Zhu. Somi Doja. Sadiq Hasanpur. Armin Rashidi Mehrabadi. Majid Taragak. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Engineering. Abnandan Gill. Syed Muhammad Ali. Tayyef Hassan Asif. Ashraf Anwar Hossain. Ekne Dilkuchu Ilabachi. Amitoj Khor. Muzamil Mohsen. Manvir Singh Sekhon. Cyril Philippos. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in Civil Engineering. Bruce Kelly Aiken. Nathan Anderson. Justin Howard Asselstein. Carlo Batista. Simon Benson. William Briggs. Kyle Andrew Brown. Evan Burns. Larson Christiansen. Dwayne Sybeck. Matthew Dalton Gibson. Carly Melissa Davis. Kalu Henandigal Sanduni Del Silva. Jeffrey Dercock. Pierre Henry Desjardins. Skylar Nicholas Dunberg. Lyndon Eric Enger. Thomas Philip Wellesley Farmer. Daniel Veronica Ferns. Zaranant Firiros. Tanel Felstorm. Matthew Forchier. Andrew Gain. Andrew James Harris Goodall. Nathan Blaine Harvey. Please move. Laura Herrera Rodriguez. Graham Inglis. Fred Jan. Jessica Sharon Johnson. Savina Kalon. Andrew James Kitchener. Dovanen Alan Clausen. Moritz Tay Kohler. Jason Willem Lammers. Mitchell Hart Lang. Connor Lind. Kelty Rose MacDonald. Landip Singh Mandahar. Matthew Marek. Roy Brendan McDowell. Fred Jugo Mondo. Sabrina Nicole Moore. Wyatt Park. Shar Prodanek. Karen Raymond. Jonah David Schwab. Curtis Spence. Andrew Stewart. Kevin George Swells. Andrew Woodward. Timothy Yeager. Michael Yano. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in Electrical Engineering. Michelle Mao Bono. Spencer Bostock. Nathan Edward Dobson. Declan Easton. Matthew Clark Gatsby. Calvin Harper. Bahar Haydari. Muhammad Tahsin Kabir. Brittany Kearns. Russell Gordon Lisk. Zhangao Li. Darby Little. Jason Markazi. Jonathan May. Scott Miller. Quinn Miller. Patrick Moore. Marcus Nagy. Blaze Dakota Neff. Jordan Palumba. Prasanna Narayane Pugalain Dali. Bro Stahl. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the University of British Columbia Gold Medal Engineering, the head of the graduating class, Trevor Sterling. Amir Sultan. Edward Clement Joseph Tisserand. Vipul Vishnoi. Colin Werkentine. James Weber. Alex Wiki. Bernie Wu. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering. Morteza Abbasi. Esam Jamal Al-Qabari. Hussein Ali. Sahiti Ayalea. Robert Baker. Reed Baldiguera. Daniel James Donald Bandura. Benjamin Barber. Alexander William Victor Berger. Lane Bailiff. Arpin Singh Bowler. Nicholas Pillows. Patrick Brebner. Arjan Chima. Sahib Chima. Owen August Sonny Doom. Mark Dalglish. Jeremy William Del Cole. Fernandez Diaz. Kevin Dick. Evan Dolovitt. Brian Daniel Catherine Enright. Alex Ferguson. John Forrestal. Richard Gapp. Peter Michael Germain. Dazer Kerhan Gilmore. Andres Gonzalez. Jesse Daniel Griffin. Syed Mehrad Hashemi Rahaqi. Corey Haukhausen. Matthew Hoffman. Yufan Hao. Blago Ritsovsky. Alexander Heising. Andrew Jin. Keith Ramsey Jones. Muhammad Khan. Julia Lenton. Queen Lessing. James Light. Kai Lilburn. Wesley McLean. Christian Mihalovic. Scott William Milton. Finlay Cormac Nicole. Eke Kuchuka Okoro. Tahmid Raymond. Saad Raymond. Brandon Robertson. Connor Schofield. Keenan Scott. April Elizabeth Settle. Yosef Sim. Saif Slayman. Haley Quinn Sonnenberg. Jason Sproul. Kevin Stopp. Robert Townsley. Victor Huyen Tran. Derek Whale. Jessica Van Broemelen. Fien Van Donkeler. Daniel Van den Brink. Nolan Patrick Walls. Brandon Yee. Luke Zenke. Andre Vandenberg. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering, minor in Computer Science, Kenneth Wesley Wong.
Thank you. Fantastic reading.
Thank you.
Please remain standing. The parents and the friends and the platform party could sit down. Just the graduates, please. Please remain standing. Just the graduates. For those graduates who have crossed the stage today, and for those who are unable to attend today's ceremony, with respect to the appropriate degrees as shown on the program, it is our great honor as the faculty, executive, and board of governors of the University of British Columbia to formally and officially admit you to the convocation of UBC. Congratulations. Please be seated. It's been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each and every member of today's graduating class. You've each invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work in obtaining your degree. And now, just as you graduate, this would be the perfect time for you to turn to your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and give them a round of applause for being there for you every day. Let's hear it for them. And let's not forget the most important people at this university that have been with you from day one until the very last exam was marked and the very last project was completed, the individuals who opened their offices up to you and went the extra mile to make sure that you were here. That is the faculty of the University of British Columbia. Let's hear it for them. I want to just leave you with a couple of words. I'm first and foremost a faculty member. I want to take this last opportunity before you leave to leave with you just a couple of our thoughts. As applied scientists and engineers, you have the tools and capability now to make the world a better place. The progress that technology and innovation has achieved over the past century has been truly remarkable. And I'm sure some of the parents and some of the grandparents out there remember the original Dick Tracy comic strip. Remember that? Or better yet, Marty McFly in Back to the Future. The once space-age dream of a smartphone or a smartwatch or a self-propelled skateboard, once viewed as total fantasy, is now reality for millions of people. And I think the first time I actually saw a self-propelled skateboard was actually here on this campus. It was pretty cool. Not to mention Wi-Fi enabled video games, three-dimensional movies, handheld tablet computers, flat screen TVs, and video conferencing on your very phone via Skype. Even my 12-year-old daughter Sarah can now essentially be like Dick Tracy or Marty McFly. Who knows, with the advent of machine learning and artificial intelligence, and visionaries like your own faculty or Elon Musk or you, we predict now that flying cars are just a couple of years off. In fact, they're making one for the next Olympics. Hoverboards, the ones like Marty McFly actually used, and hyperloops with unprecedented speed rail travel between cities. And trips to outer space for the general public are in the not-too-distant future. I, for one, will be first in line for the opportunity to hoverboard across the Okanagan campus. Beyond this, it's indisputable that millions and soon-to-be billions of lives will be saved due to advances in engineering. Our buildings and bridges are already safer, and they will become safer still. And biomedical devices and prosthetics will prolong and enhance lives and the quality of our lives. It's already happening. I've met many people who are alive today because of pioneering biomedical engineering devices that were created and invented at UBC. I can't wait to see the innovations that you bring into the world. Enjoy the ride. You will make your mark. But as enablers of the world of the future, be mindful of the world that you create. Be mindful of the lens through which the next generation views the world through your inventions. Life and civilization are not a video game, as exciting as video games can be. We should never cheapen or minimize human creativity as a casualty of machine learning or robotics, as wonderful as those technologies are. And we should be mindful of the tendency towards isolation and being all consumed by our ability to escape into a world of virtual reality. We already see it, looking at people consumed by Snapchat or Facebook or Twitter. I'm one of them. And make sure that we don't become victims of technology. Who here has not been dismayed to be at a family reunion, a precious moment, because many of us live far away, where great-grandparents and grandparents and grandkids are together for a very special moment that rarely occurs, to see the grandparents and the grandkids sitting next to each other without uttering a word because the youngsters are glued to their phones. Or how about a gathering of teens where they're completely engrossed in Minecraft or Snapchat and forget about each other. Let us avoid a future where the most rewarding opportunity in life, interpersonal relationships and love, have diminished to afterthoughts. Because as much as I love, and maybe you love, your smartphone or your tablet, I can guarantee you that tablet does not love you like your parents or your grandparents do. And as you create the future, don't forget the fundamental values that we try to teach in universities. Embrace diversity in every sense of the word. It makes for better teams, for better decisions, and most importantly, for a better world. And as you ponder what you will do in both small and large decisions moving into the future, decisions that sometimes will be very hard, especially as you climb the corporate or institutional ladder, decisions that will test your mettle as a human being and citizen because human values will be at stake. Do me a favor and fast forward to the end of your life, far, far away, and ask yourselves this one simple question. It's a question that my classmate at the University of Chicago, David Brooks, wrote about in one of his books. As you know, he's an award-winning, best-selling author and columnist in the New York Times, and he asked in that book the simple question, what will people say about you in your eulogy? You see, at that point in your life, it's not about how high your grade point average was at UBCO. Nobody will care. It won't be about how impressive your LinkedIn profile is at the time. Nobody will care. You see, eulogies are about the impact that your life has had, about an honest assessment of how you have transformed the world. Eulogies are not about exactly what you did or what you might have said, but as Maya Angelou said, it's all about how you made people feel. You know, in between the first and second graduation ceremony here at UBCO, I met a couple. They've been married for a long time. They met at UBC. And it talked about one of the 15 presidents of UBC, President Gage, a mathematician, spent his entire career at UBC, he was a dean of students, and eventually became president. And of the 15 presidents of this institution, I can tell you that the one that people talk about the most, even though he left UBC in 1970, is President Gage. And the reason for that is not because of his mathematics, not because of a particular lecture that inspired the students. People have long since forgotten those things. But people remember him still, today, long past his eulogy, long past his time at UBC. They remember him still because of the way he made people feel. And so that couple that came up to me here on this campus, the campus that didn't exist when he was president of UBC, and they said, President Gage, at that time, this couple was boyfriend and girlfriend. And the boyfriend had a terrible accident that left him in the hospital. And even before that accident, he didn't have a lot of money, nor did his family have a lot of money. And the wife said to me, at the time, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and I didn't know what to do, so I called President Gage. And he called me back, to my surprise. And he said, what's going on? And she explained the predicament. And his response was very simple. He said, don't worry, we'll take care of you. And then when they looked at the bill and they went to the bursar, the money that they owed had become zero. And for the longest time, people thought that it was the institution that did that. And there are hundreds of such stories. Not only that he knew everyone's name on campus, but that he would stop, and if a student said, I'm short of money, that he would give them money out of his pocket. And if they said, you know, we couldn't pay for the dormitory, he would say, come stay in our house. And what's become evident through the scores of people that we've spoken to, in actually a historical project we're involved in, is that it wasn't from UBC. It was from his own pocket. And people remember him today. They remembered him in his eulogy, and they remember him even today, long since he's left this planet, because of the way he made them feel. Remember, I said there's a double entendre to that two words, tuum est. It's your university. But the other meaning is it's up to you. It's up to you to determine what your eulogy will be. Will it be like President Gage? Will it be like another engineer in computer science that you know called Bill Gates, the richest person in the world, who's giving almost everything away to try to eradicate diseases? Is that going to be your eulogy? Or will it be about how you, in a company or as a CEO, have become very rich at the expense of others, perhaps by cutting corners for personal gain, perhaps putting the lives of others in harm's way? You can say, nobody would do that. I can tell you I've spoken to people who tell me of engineers who sell old airplane parts at market value, concealing the fact that they're old so they can make more money. So it does happen to highly educated people. So as you move forward in your life, with the world your oyster, remember more than what you learned in the class and the laboratory, your education of the mind. Remember something that I think is even more important. It's your education of your heart. It's what you learned from the faculty members that went the extra mile, spent the extra hour, even though they were tired, even though they wanted to go home, because they cared about you, and that's what UBCO is all about. The education of the heart is about your classmates who are there for you late into the wee hours of the morning because you didn't understand something, and they wanted to help you understand so you could do well on the same test that they were taking. That's the education of the heart. So I leave you with this last sentence. Knowledge is in the head. Wisdom is in your heart. Always follow your heart and you will be okay. Tuum est. It's up to you. Congratulations. Now I see that we have a wonderful orchestra. I was a little worried there for a second because I saw the conductor, but I didn't see the orchestra. Let's hear it for the conductor and his orchestra. And let's hear it for our University Marshal and Director of the Voice and Opera Program, Nancy Hermanson, who's going to join me here. Let's hear it for her. And this is your moment, your last day as a UBC student, a new graduate, okay? You guys have a little bit of energy, right? Are you excited about the fact you graduated? Are you excited? All right. You guys on the floor, on this side, not the bleachers, are group 1. What group are you? Oh, you can do better than that. What group are you? You guys on this side, on the floor. Parents too, friends too, on this side, on the floor. What group are you? Group 2. What group are you? Pretty good. Let's hear it again. All right, it sounds like an engineer. Everybody up there in the bleachers, you are group 3. Parents, are you excited about your sons and daughters graduating? What group are you? Group 3. What group are you? Very good. Everybody behind me, the faculty, the administration, they are group 4. What group are you? 4. Very good. Okay. So the conductor is going to play a first note for group 1. Listen very carefully. You're engineers. You all have perfect pitches and wonderful voices, right? She's going to sing the letter U with that note. Let's train you. First note, Mr. Conductor.
You.
There it is. Group 2. Group 2, the second note will be a B. Sing the letter B to this note.
B.
Group 3, this is the note. Sing the letter C.
C.
Group 4 will sing the letter O.
O.
And this is where everything comes together like a very complicated machine and works perfectly on the first try. Are you ready, everyone? So we're going to go to this group. You will sing the letter U with that note and carry that note. It's very important to carry the note while they then sing B in the second note, C in the third note, and O in the fourth note. And when everyone will be singing, it'll be an amazing chord that will actually be so amazing that the roof will fly into this outer space. Okay, can you do that? And we'll erupt into a tremendous amount of noise. Can you do that? This is the last moment that you're here. Let's make it awesome. Are you ready, Mr. Conductor? Here we go. The first letter.
U.
Let's hear it one more time for the band. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as we have, and that you will join us for refreshments, which will be served immediately after the ceremony in the courtyard at the alumni tent. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Alumni UBC. Join us to celebrate 100 years and collect your new Alumni UBC A card, you graduates, at the tent. Now, the guests are kindly requested to remain in their seats until the academic processions have left the building. That's the platform party and the graduates. And would the graduates please stand for this last moment? And let's all give. And you can, after this, you can throw your hats in the air, whatever you want to do, make it awesome. Let's join me in congratulating once again the 2017 graduates of the University of British Columbia.